Hi there, Andre here from Peak Motorcycles. I'm here at Motorcycle Live 2023 and I'm here at the Herald stand. Now if you don't know Herald, they are a British brand. They have a number of 125 and 250cc motorcycles, and then a couple of years ago they launched their Brut 500. Now what they have on the stand here, I think, is they've got mostly the same bikes from previous years, but with some pretty insane paint jobs. So I'll give you a quick look around, show you what bikes they have, especially some of these more unusual models, and see what you think. So first up I have the Cafe 125, and as you can see it's pretty simple. It does have pillion pegs, it does have a air-cooled 125cc engine, upside down forks, single disc at the front. It's got this quite crazy flame paint job over the tank. It's got that rather nice Monza fuel cap over to the right hand side. It's got clip-on bars and some conventional looking clocks, but you know what, I quite like the look of that. I mean, I know they're simple, you know, they're fairly economically priced, but yeah, I think that's all right. The next one I want to show you is this one. This is their Scrambler 125, and again, very similar to the Cafe, but this one has got this quite interesting sort of side plate for a number, and then this metallic green snakeskin paint job. Coming up and over the front of the bike, it's quite similar with those white backed clocks, but with a small fly screen and a headlamp protector. And knobbly tyres, of course. Next up we have the classic 125. Again, very similar. Instead of having the clip-on bars, it's got the high bars like the Scrambler, and this has got kind of a silver fleck black paint job, which looks quite nice. This one here in the middle, so this is the Brut 500. So this is a definitely different class of engineering. Everything on it, I think, was designed by Herald for this, including the rear suspension linkage. A lot of the assembly, I think, is done out in China, but the bikes are finished off over here, and they're certainly designed, and the engine map is done here. This one did have a custom paint job on the tank, and it's got a few other nice things like that LED headlamp at the front. But yeah, I think that's just a really nicely finished bike, and for what they are, I think they're exceptional value. So over to the 250s, and here we have the Brat 250. Does look a little bit like a rat bike, with that sort of brown, sort of rusty paint job. It's not rust, it's just a sort of paint effect that's then got lacquer over the top, over the tank. But as you can see on this 250, it's got more up-to-date dash. Looks a bit like the old Triumph dashes, to be honest. It's also got those lower bar end mirrors. I think they always look better than they work, but hey, you know, they look kind of cool. Let's give you a quick look around the front. It's got sort of semi-knobbly tyres. Again, that LED headlamp up there. Here we have another 125. This is the Maverick 125. Again, similar to the 125s you saw earlier. It looks like it's got longer travel suspension, and this one has this sort of iridescent metallic green paint job on the tank. Coming around the front, it's got those little bullet indicators. Yeah, I mean, that's they look good. If you're in the market for a 125, I think it's certainly cooler than a lot of the other choices. And then here we have the Maverick 250. So again, with this sort of slightly crazy, psychedelic, what's that, like a swirly zebra? That's probably not helpful, is it? Paint job over the tank, but yeah, that looks mint. Slightly different dash to the other 250 with a more conventional looking black backed clock. But yeah, just lots of little details on it, like the rear reservoir protector down there, and the heat shield on the exhaust. I mean, they are simple bikes, right? You know, there's not a great deal to them, but if you're in the market for a 250, and let's face it, there's not much choice around in the 250 segment, I think these are grand. Then what we have now, I think, is a few more colorways for the 500. Now this one in particular, I absolutely love. I love this British racing green with the gold and the carbon fibre. You know, just seeing the suspension linkage pulled out like that with the rear hugger. This one just has a single seat. Quite a nice looking tail tidy on the back. So it is a 500. Some nice pegs, sort of enduro style pegs down there coming up over the tank. It's got a dash which looks rather similar to what I have on my CCM. That's not a compliment. I think it's one of the worst things about my CCM, but they have improved that on their bikes for this year. But nevertheless, it does work. And then you've got those nice gold triple clamps and from the front end. So yeah, I love that bike in that British racing green. Here we have another 500. This one has got, again, the single seat, and it's got a Union Jack paint job on the tank. I'm not going to dwell on this that long because it's very similar to the British racing green one, and I prefer the green one. And last but by no means least, there is one more take on the Brat 125. This one's got sort of a beak on the front, looks almost GS-y, with knobbly tyres. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. It's got those sort of bronze coloured forks. It's got a very simple sort of enduro style dash, just a single row, you know, much like what you get on enduro bikes and trail bikes. And then on this side, it's got that big exhaust that's been wrapped with heat shields. Yeah, I mean, I think it's certainly quite a striking bike. So you have it, that is my very quick look around the Herald stand here at Motorcycle Live 2023. Hope that's been interesting and useful. If it has been, please check out my other content from the show and maybe I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.